Perfect start with a cough. Absolutely love, love, love that. I look crazy right now. I look crazy and I feel crazy. I just had like a wave of tiredness come over me. I also wanted to show you this thing I got to put my hair up that I'm like kind of living for because it's like a little terrifying. So like look at my hair right now. You wouldn't think there's anything crazy in there. Where is it? Sorry, the screen is backwards. It always throws me. That is literally the size of my palm, and you didn't even know it was in there. Like, imagine if you went through TSA with this. You know what I'm saying? Finally, on time to class. Can everyone hear me okay and see me okay? I hope so. I really wanted a special treat for tonight, and I was looking through my fridge, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have any treats. And then I found this Capri Sun. I did already get a Baja Blast on the way home from work today. I guess that was a special treat, but I just wanted another one, you know? I used to study orcas in the wild. Oh my god, I'm so glad you're here. I was hoping to have like an actual expert here. I love that for us. But like I was saying at the beginning, I don't know why I just had like a wave of tiredness fall over me. Actually, I think I do know why, and let's get into that. So normally my days are like very jam-packed. Vibrant Ladybug, hi. Oh, here, let me move. And you just subscribed? Thank you. So anyway, normally my day is like pretty jam-packed. Like I'm like zoom, 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 zoom the whole day. But school is almost over. Like we literally only have a couple days left. So we've kind of been doing nothing. Like today we watched multiple movies. And I feel like because I'm not doing anything, I'm like, bleh. You know what I mean? Like I like to be booked and bothered. Booked and bothered is the state of being I'm the most thriving in, unfortunately. That's who I am as a person. So some new graphics up on the screen tonight. And oh my god, I can't stop coughing because I'm packing up my room and there's so much dust like deep in the cabinets from the 1970s, and I was literally on top of the cabinet today. Like my students were like screaming at me to get down, but I was like, no, I need to be up here. Like I feel so good being up here because I was like hanging up flags and stuff, so I just needed to be up there. Your mom's chest hair 16. Love that name. Thank you for subscribing. But anyway, tonight we're here to talk about orcas. I have a lot to talk about. Oh, I forgot to talk about the new graphics. So anyway, number one, I don't know if y'all have seen Operation Olive Branch. It's basically just like a multifaceted way, and multifaceted just means like it's lots of different things, of support for the Palestinian people. So one of the things that they're doing, you can Google them, there's like a spreadsheet and everything. Oh, I should probably like find it and put it in the chat. Let me like actually be like good at my job for a second. Let me just Google it. I bet I'll find it. I found it on TikTok. So here is their Instagram. I'm a serious orca hater. Literally an orca hater. Why are you an orca hater? Okay, so Operation Olive Branch, one of the things they're doing, I just put their Instagram in the chat, and they have like, I'll put their link tree as well. They have like a spreadsheet and an FAQ and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, Operation Olive Branch, one of the things that they're doing is like, as an influencer, we can fill out like Google forms, and then they'll like match us with a family. And really the whole point is so that like each influencer can be posting consistently about one family rather than just like everyone putting into one big thing, and like we can kind of like have updates in progress. So this is the family that I'm partnered with, Dr. Sofian. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm not 100% sure because I've only ever like texted on Facebook Messenger with him. So if you scan the QR code, it'll take you to his GoFundMe. I can put that in the chat as well, actually. He's like really thrilled that people are donating. So shout out to everyone that's already donated because that's very helpful. And yeah, let me just pull up his story so you guys can kind of like see the vibes. Okay. So here, I'll put it in the chat as well. So you can see, oh, thank you for donating. It's him and his 3 sons and his wife. The reason he hadn't already evacuated is because he's a doctor, hence doctor. And so he was like providing medical care, and his wife has an eye illness as well. So she needs medical care. And obviously it's like not the best situation they're in right now. So even if you cannot donate, I highly suggest just reading it and supporting it and all of that. Because each evacuation is $5,000 per person. So before I started sharing, they were at like 2,000 pounds or like 3,000, I think. So we've made a lot of progress really fast, which is like super, super slay. So I just wanted to make sure I share it here. And that graphic is going to stay on there probably for a long time. Freaking dust. So we bought a whole computer for Miss Redacted. That's what I was absolutely saying. Like, we can definitely raise this. I was like, if we were able to raise enough money for me to get a computer, like the most frivolous thing, in, what did that take, like a couple months, we can definitely do this. So also feel free to share it on your social media. You never know, like your old boss, maybe someone got a bonus, you have no idea. So yeah, I appreciate anyone that donates that. Feel free to like tag me on Instagram. I'll just like share your stories and stuff. I like doing stuff like that. And then our other little graphic here is next week we are going to be talking about, I have no idea how to say this. I should have looked this up. I always look up like how to pronounce and watch little YouTube videos. Utaqavik, Alaska. It's like the most northern point of Alaska. So you can see on that little map there. It's super, super far north. It actually used to be called Barrow, Alaska, but they renamed it because Barrow, Alaska wasn't even the original name. The natives had, I think this was their name for it, and that's why they changed it back, is what I'm assuming happened. But it's crazy. It's completely dark there from November to the end of January. They experience 60 days of complete darkness, so the sun does not rise for 60 days. And there's just like a lot of insane things there. The food is super expensive. It's freezing there. It's like super dangerous to live there, obviously. It's a big native community, so there's just like a lot of interesting things happening in that part of Alaska. And I just realized the graphic that I downloaded is the ugly Android emojis and not my pretty Apple ones. The polar night is so interesting to me. It's so interesting. I've never been to Alaska, but I really want to go. Anyway, people in the TikTok chat are talking about organized religion. That stresses me out. It just links on the screen. What? Anyway, so let's talk about orcas, because there's a lot of interesting things to talk about. Oh, people are having their own conversation in the chat. So I literally, to start us off super strong, the Orca Wikipedia website. And I want to hear from the people in the chat. That person that said you're an orca hater, why? And the person that said you've worked with orcas, like, in the wild, please tell me more about that. I'm very, very curious about this. Yeah, there's two graphics on screen. One for the GoFundMe and one with next week's stream topic. Exactly. Thank you. I had an orca-related nightmare last night. What happened? What did the orca do? So for those of you who don't know, orcas are killer whales, but we call them orcas because I think it's more like politically correct for them. And they're big as fuck. That's just right off the bat. They are about 18 feet, so they're way bigger than humans. Oh my God, look at them in Alaska. That's crazy. They've been around a long ass time as well. Just donated. Thank you for sharing. I'm on Team Orca because of Gladys. Orcas are so pretty. Late to class per usual, but hey, Barbie. Hey, Barbie. So, they are a toothed whale. That's the largest member of the oceanic dolphin family, whatever the fuck that means. They are found in diverse marine environments, and they are apex predators with a diverse diet. They will eat fish, sharks, rays, marine mammals like seals, dolphins, and whales. They eat sharks. I thought sharks were like the end-all be-all. My pregnant sister has been obsessed with watching orcas killing sharks. I am so excited to see how her kid turns out. Orcas kill sharks for fun and eat the liver. No, like orcas seem like they get down like that. And they eat whales. They eat other whales. They're extremely, extremely social. They are... like their family structure is matrilineal line. So like the maternal line, like the mother, I'm guessing, is their pods, and they have very sophisticated hunting techniques. They work as a team to hunt, which is way more effective than humans could ever be. Where was I? They're often specific to a particular group and passed down from generation to generation. So kind of like before we had like iPhones and machines, when people were more nomadic, they would just like pass down their farming traditions, or for nomadic people, like their hunting traditions from generation to generation. And like, that's what the orcas are doing. Not Nepo orcas. No, literally, there's nepotism in the orca community. I'm 9 minutes late. We're already lost in the sauce. No, we are lost in the sauce. Like, we're only on website 1, but we're lost in the sauce. So, where am I? Oh, about the conservation. They're on the U.S. endangered species list. They're usually not a threat to humans. No fatal attack has ever been documented in their natural habitat. I want to make that clear. We are a terrorist to the orcas. Humans are the orca terrorist, and we terrorize them every day. And they have literally never attacked us unless we put them in jail, which they're in jail. I would be mad about it too. There have been cases of captive orcas killing and injuring their handlers at marine theme parks. We are going to touch on marine theme parks, but I didn't want this to be depressing. So if you want to watch that movie Blackfish, just watch it, because that's not what we're going to do. But we are going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm not going to like show you the graphics of them crying and eating their trainers and stuff like that. Isn't Free Willy about an orca, or am I stupid? I have no idea. I haven't seen Free Willy. I thought it was about a dolphin. Orcas said abolish the prison industry. Orcas are against for-profit prisons. SeaWorld is a for-profit prison. Think about it. 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 The same way for-profit prisons make the prisoners work, like sewing Victoria's Secret panties and shit like that. And a bunch of them have to work at the governor's mansion cleaning. Terrible. That's what SeaWorld is doing on the orcas. Like, they're in prison, and they're like, and you're gonna perform. Isn't that a razzle-dazzle? Do you guys think that people would attend prison theater? Like, if we take the SeaWorld business model to human incarceration, would people go? I think they would. I think it depends how much tickets are, and I think it depends how good they are. I think if they were good, they would go. Or if they were really, really bad. If they were just okay, no one would go. Because no one wants to see just okay. But if they were terrible, people would go to make fun of them in like a probably racist way. And then if they were really good, people would go and like watch and like have weird cognitive dissonance about it. People are whack. Everyone would put it on TikTok too. Prisons are basically carnivals when prisons were insane asylums. I don't know if carnival is the word How are you using the word carnival? I don't think people were having fun, personally. There's a crazy jail rodeo in Louisiana. Prison rodeos? Okay, sorry. We're going on a tangent. We are going on a tangent. Pack your bags, because we're going on a tangent. Do we have a YouTube video about this? God, I hope so. I love when we get to pull out the YouTube. Sorry I've been treating you guys like my class recently and just putting on YouTube every day for you. But I think you're kind of into it. Okay.
Prison. It's a punishing routine. The food, the clothes, the view, nothing changes. Life's variety, like an inmate's freedom, is taken away. But here, at the Louisiana State Penitentiary, known as Angola, one of the most notorious maximum security prisons in the country, the monotony of doing hard time is occasionally broken.
Oh, here, let me put on subtitles. I have so many questions.
In April, and all the Sundays this month, some of Louisiana's most violent criminals...
If you're on TikTok, you have to come to Twitch to see.
...become entertainment.
See the rodeo.
Spectators from all over fill the stadium, built by
I'm assuming it's like on a volunteer basis. Like it's like a sign-up situation. They're not forcing them to do it, I would hope, but knowing America, probably not.
Mind you, it seats more than 11,000.
Yeah, are they trained? It said the prisoners built the stadium.
It's an odd mix. Both animals and inmates released from their respective confinements to duel it out.
What is happening?
It's both a crowd pleaser and a bit unsettling.
I'm very unsettled. The striped tops. It's the striped tops.
And razor wire.
Is this like a skill they can take with
them?
them?
The Mississippi River fools you. It meanders
okay,
its way
so
around
since we're talking about prison abolition, video title, Orcas. cut screens since we're talking about prison abolition. So, in just prison system in general, I'm not even against prisoners working because it's like good for human mental health to be engaging in some kind of work. Like just like being in a room all day is not good for you. And if we truly think that prisons are supposed to reform people, which they don't, but if we're trying to say that, they should have like things they're doing every day. But it's crazy to me. I'm sorry, I have to change that graphic. Those emojis are bothering me so much. It's crazy to me that they really don't get paid for it. Like that's the part that's fucked up to me. So like Hillary Clinton, when she was in the governor's mansion with Bill Clinton, Arkansas has the prisoners be like the staff of the governor's mansion and do all the cleaning and stuff. And like whenever you read interviews with the prisoners, they're like, I love working, because like I said, it's human nature to want to engage in something every day. But it's crazy that they're not getting paid for it. And it's like very much giving slavery. I went as a child. As an adult, I would not support this. The other inmates have arts and crafts and sell them as well. I have jewelry. I think I have heard of this.
Former slave plantation in a very tranquil way.
Sorry.
Until you notice the alligators.
All right, here we go. Wild cow milking.
This place is a never-ending stream of contrasts. You're not sure whether to cheer or jeer when you're here.
Cheer or jeer is crazy.
The competitions aren't what you'd expect at a regular rodeo.
Don't move.
Take convict poker. 4 inmates sit nervously at a card table while a very restless bull picks out his target.
Here we go.
He either takes out the whole card table at once, or he picks the inmates off one by one.
Don't run!
There we
Last
go.
one standing
That's better.
or sitting wins.
We want to have this show and no one get hurt, no one be injured, and have a good time.
It doesn't really seem like it.
It's not about some sinister, brutal thing that happened.
This your first one?
I could talk about this place all day
Hurricane
long. It's
has
both
been in
amazing
Gola's
with their
rodeo for
education
20 years.
opportunities, but also
It's
so
well aware
insanely
that his
scary.
rodeo
It's giving
can
P.T.
make
Barnum in a
Louisiana
bad
State
way.
Penitentiary
Of course, that's what he looks
seem
like.
more like the Roman Colosseum.
Yeah, that's what it's
How
giving
is
is the
it
Roman
not
Colosseum.
taking advantage of the inmates?
Nobody has to do it. Nobody,
Okay.
nobody.
Okay.
They want to do it. How can
Okay.
I take advantage of you if you want to do it?
Do you have any experience?
We'll pretend that made
no.
sense.
Nothing.
Never been a cowboy.
They're all volunteers, like first-time cowboy Virgil Smith.
Because what
a
else are you
career
going to do?
criminal Who's here for murder.
So why do you do this?
Money.
Yeah.
I'm broke. I'm trying to get a private investigator on my case.
He earns
Yeah.
2 cents an hour
Like,
working in the prison.
you can't make someone do something they don't want to do. That's capitalism, baby. That's capitalism for you. I'm going to be so real with you right now.
But he can earn hundreds out in that mud.
Yeah, they can earn way more money out
Does it
there.
bug you that people are coming out to watch you guys get hurt?
It's not really upsetting because, people like to see anything that's filled with excitement.
Do you ever have any qualms
not taking
about
it personally,
putting these guys
it
in the
seems.
arena without any real rodeo training?
No, here's what I do. This is the most important thing. They're wearing the flak vest, they're wearing the helmet, and then we have hired the very finest rodeo clowns who you see get between the bull and the guys and save the guys and get the bull to chase them. We've gone to a great extreme to protect them.
In fact, he says most
is this
inmates
man?
walk away with just minor injuries.
Just minor.
For him,
This is
a few
insane.
bumps and bruises is worth it, if the inmates get a brief reprieve from the hopelessness of prison.
I don't know if
80%
hope
of Angola's
is the
inmates
message I
will
took.
never be free again. Some don't even leave when they die. They're buried
What?
right here, inside the prison walls.
It's like take you away from
Oh
being
my
incarcerated while being incarcerated.
Timothy Gay and Aldrich Lathan are both in for armed robbery.
Is it something you guys look forward to all year?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
Because it's probably
This
not
is
a lot else to look
fascinating.
forward to
I'm
in here,
so
right?
jarred.
Not really.
Now, their victims would likely argue they don't deserve to have something to look forward to. Certainly not those here for the most serious offenses.
I took a hit and didn't get a penny.
You took a hit and didn't get a penny. I got to try to change this dude because corrections means correct his deviant behavior. So I'm
Put him in the
charged with
ring with a
correcting
bull.
him. That's my job. It's not lock and feed and torture and torment.
So the rodeo, in his mind, is
Interesting.
rehabilitation. helping to give the inmates purpose.
You want those too? Okay.
At the rodeo's craft fair,
I've seen
offenders
this,
called
yeah.
trustees, having served at least
What
a
kind of
decade
Hunger
without
Games
incident,
shit is this?
are allowed to sell items they make here. Everything from bowls to rocking chairs.
Some of those are impressive.
Yeah, we'll split that.
For many, these interactions are the only time they talk with someone from the outside.
I've had a bunch of them to speak, even though I wasn't even shopping, or anything, just to speak and have somebody.
This is very
actually talk
Hunger
to them
Games.
as if
We
they
need to
were
go back to the
human
orcas.
again.
Is that the one you want?
I always try
John
not to make
Sheehan
it
has been
depressing, and
locked
it
up
always
here
ends
for
up depressing.
28 years for killing his wife.
Oh.
Like for my ID. I keep my ID just like that.
The
Oh.
rodeo has given
Yeah.
him a chance to start a small leatherworks
Okay.
business from behind bars.
I had to try to find meaning in my life and purpose for my life.
Uh,
And that's what I've done while I've been incarcerated.
no more rodeo. Give me back the
I'm sure
whales.
the rodeo does make
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the whales. That was quite the tangent. I'm very, very shook right now. Yeah, once I heard he killed his wife, like, I'm out. Like, I'm so sorry. I still think you have human rights, but I don't want to look at you or talk to you. Like, I just get out. Like, you fucking make your wallets. I want you to, like, have food to eat, but go. Get out of here, man. Record scratch moment. They just really breezed past it. They were like, he's here because he killed his wife. So he does fine leather goods. And I feel like I just wasn't really into that pivot. Yeah, we're going to get back on track. So let's talk about naming orcas. Oh, Orcanus means the kingdom of the dead. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. That's insane. Look at this. This is their range. Everything in blue is their range. Stop. They just don't go up super tall and then they don't go into lakes. That's it. Oh my god. They can literally go anywhere. Like, they are Mr. International. Like, the orcas said, yeah, girl, we've been known. How do I get out of here? Help. Help. What else is on here? Tell me, so it said sexual dimorphism, and I think it's talking about, like, in the ways that they're different, but I thought it said, like body dysmorphia. I was like, wait, what's going on with them? Like, they want to be, like, different? What's happening? They get, like, I thought the whales had, like, an eating disorder is what I thought was happening. So you're saying female orcas have more freedom than we do? Yes, absolutely. Put some orcas in the Great Lakes, to be honest. Like, they might love it. They might love it. You don't know. They don't know. They've never been, I don't think. Okay, whatever. There's albino orcas. Oh, that's a link to albino, not the albino orca. Okay, anyway, moving on. Look at them fly. And there's so many. Damn. Okay, we'll get to this. Look at them. Look at it. That is so spooky. Do you see them? That seal's gonna die. How small is a baby orca? Let's look that up. How large baby orca? Baby orcas, known as calves, are 8.5 feet long and weigh 265 to 353 pounds at birth. Oh, wow. That's from the SeaWorld website. We're not going to click it and give them free clicks. So, orcas are very, very smart. This is a nice little list moment we have. 11-way orcas show their terrifying intelligence. They get caught up in fads. They are very... The internet is unreadable. They get very, like, they're social. So they will start adopting a temporary behavior and then it, like, will get abandoned later. So, for example, a population in the Pacific went through a phase of wearing salmon hats in the 1980s. The trend started when a female orca began carrying around dead salmon on her head, and in the weeks that followed, the behavior spread to 2 other pods. Let me find a picture of the salmon heads if that exists. Orca, salmon, not salon, salmon hat. There's not pictures. They're all like photoshopped, it appears, but there's articles about it. If someone finds one, let me know. Oh, thank you for donating. So they share the meal. Do they fight on who gets what seal part? It is really cunty that they have like trends. And they engage in greeting ceremonies. They have complicated social rituals and engage in what researchers call greeting ceremonies, where these interactions are the equivalent of a mosh pit. They line up in 2 rows and then tumble together. During one such event, the greeting coincided with a birth. 3 orcapods reunited at the Strait of Juan de Fuca, the boundary between the U.S. and Canada, in 2020. The orcas whistled and clicked to each other, and the pregnant female produced a calf. The orcas weren't foraging and appeared just to be there to socialize on the day of the birth. That's what I'm saying. Like, they are talking. Like, they are talking. They are absolutely talking. Can you do a stream on Nene Leakes or the downfall of Real Housewives of Atlanta in general? I'm rewatching it right now, so once I'm done with it, then for fucking sure. Orca Mosh Pit Woodstock 2024, anyone? They have distinct dialects. Orcas live in pods based around their mothers and their descendants, like we said. They have their own distinctive dialects of the same language, so like an accent, I guess. The species can learn to mimic new sounds, which helps them form these dialects. Researchers taught a captive female orca called Wiki to mimic human sound words like hello and bye-bye, as well as the calls of other animals. She learned so quickly and could reproduce new sounds on her first attempt. So this is kind of leading me to believe that, like, if they move or like join a new pod, they can learn the language of that. They have debriefs. They absolutely have debriefs. Just finished my rewatch of your Kim Z stream on YouTube, and it inspired me to get a Big Papa. Stop. Not that being what you took away. Real. That was really real of you. I do think they gossip, absolutely. You're telling me we have a bunch of cool names for baby animals and a baby orca is a calf? No, exactly. I do think they have debriefs. I do think they're talking about each other. I do think that they are talking about us. Like I said, they employ specialized hunting strategies. So some killer whales in Argentina beach themselves to snatch seals on the shore. Other populations create waves to push seals off of floating ice. And it's not just for seals where they learn the unique strategies. They're also salmon specialists in part of the Pacific, and whale hunters off Australia. They hunt a bunch of different things, and I think they like adapt based on what kind of things they're around and develop their skills. They're picky eaters. Killer whales eating white sharks. Okay, let's watch this on YouTube. Direct observation. Oh, this is like deep YouTube lore because it has a Gmail on it. The world's first aerial footage of killer whales pursuing white sharks. The whales are so huge. New science on the evasive tactics white sharks use. White sharks try and evade killers by circling tightly. Orcas are so smart. They have the second biggest brain of all marine animals. Drone clip showed one white shark being killed. Damn. However, there's much more to this interaction. Get into it. Oh, this is in South Africa. Oh, period.
On May the 16th, 2022,
Hell yeah.
an hour-long killing spree by a pod of orcas hunting
Not that
white sharks
hour-long
was captured on
killing
drone
spree.
and helicopter video in Mossel Bay. This footage provided the first
I
direct
think I have that
evidence of
phobia
orcas
of things
hunting
that
white
are too
sharks in
big.
South Africa. The videos provided novel insights into orcas pursuing, capturing, and incapacitating the sharks. With one predation filmed, we believe potentially 3 other sharks may have been killed, and it gave new insights into the evasive behavior displayed by the sharks. On 2 occasions, orcas approached sharks closely and slowly,
Sharks are not my
while the
fave, but
shark,
they're
instead
cool.
of fleeing, stayed close to the orca, keeping it in sight, a common strategy used by seals and turtles to evade sharks. However, orcas are social and hunting groups, which possibly renders this strategy ineffective for white sharks.
I'm
The
scared.
video footage confirmed that a known shark-eating specialist, locally referred to as Starboard, was part of the pod and appeared to be
Not him
eating
being
what we
like a local
suspect was a
celebrity.
large piece of shark liver at the ocean's surface.
Oh my
The
god.
novel footage also revealed how an orca handled and bit into a white shark at the region of the liver. We estimate that if killer whales
Damn.
are only eating shark livers, which we know they're not, then an adult would need to eat 1 white shark liver per day in order to survive.
If sharks have nightmares, they're about orcas.
Before the
I'm afraid one
predation,
might be
white
under my
sharks were
bed.
frequently seen in Mossel Bay. However, data from a cage diving vessel and drone pilot showed that white sharks fled the area immediately after these predations.
Yeah, no shit.
A flight response.
No
Orcas,
shit.
Other than the infamous
I'm
port
sure
and
I would leave
starboard,
too.
are hunting white sharks in South Africa. If cultural transmission, rapid learning, between orcas is occurring, it may have far
Cultural
wider impacts
transmission
on shark
between the
populations
orcas.
and will need to be considered in future studies.
All right, so we get the point of that. They're picky eaters, which is hilarious. They have friends. A 2021 study found that orcas' social bonds are comparable to those seen in primates, including humans. A killer whale interacts with certain members of its pod, usually those of a similar age and of the same sex. They're having debriefs. Like, the girlies are talking. They have to be. They have complex language. They have accents. They have friends. They hunt together. They're talking about us. They are talking about us. For sure. For sure. Every time you see a group of whales, those two are right there interacting with each other. I wouldn't hesitate to use the word friendship here. I'm gonna cry, they have best friends. We were orcas together. I bet their dating scene is tough with those debriefs. Girl talk orca version. They have those Real Housewives group confrontation dinners. So I just feel like you ate the whole shark liver and you didn't even leave any for anybody. And like, as your best friend, I wanted to call you out on that in this public space so that, because you told me you were trying to grow. So that's why I'm calling it out right now in the public space. Like, that's what I'm imagining is happening at the orca debriefs. If you made merch again, we were orcas together. I love merch, but it's so annoying. Anyway, they grieve. Oh, I'm already crying. Oh my god, I can't do this. I literally can't do this. I literally can't read this sentence. In 2018, researchers spotted a grief-stricken female orca pushing her dead newborn calf around. The orca named Tilaka pushed her lifeless calf around for 17 days, covering 1,000 miles of ocean before she eventually let go of it. And they have other mourning behaviors. That is literally insane. Scientists have been historically reluctant to use words like grief for fear of projecting human emotions onto animals. I don't think scientists have emotions. What about that? I don't think I've ever seen a scientist grieve. They only have lab coat and numbers. So I don't think they're the experts to ask. I think we should ask a therapist. Why would I ask a scientist whether or not that's grieving? How would you possibly know? You don't even know what that is. I have a tattoo of her mother. She was born the same year as me. The loss of her calf was devastating. Oh my god, that's so sad. I can't do this. Half y'all talking about traders and half of us are crying over orcas. They can be trained. No shit, honey. They can be trained because they're in prison. Because they're literally in prison. You could not train them to do that if they were in their natural habitat. If you just every day came outside and were like, do you want to perform for me? They would be into it for like a week tops, I feel. Then they'd be like, this is not worth the fish. I'm getting out of here. Are you going to talk about humans abducting their young and then grieving after? I don't want to make it too depressing, so not in grave detail. SeaWorld is a prison rodeo. SeaWorld is the original prison rodeo. We should talk to that prison guy from that video and see what he thinks about this. They care for each other. They support their fellow pod members. Orcas have helped injured or deformed family members survive by catching food for them. And killer whale mothers also care for their sons well into adulthood. Not them being boy moms. Hashtag boy mom. I'll always be his first love. Not the orcas being boy moms. Why is it just the sons that they care for? Anyway. Killer whale mothers, like we said, care for their sons into adulthood. And orca grandmothers care for their grandchildren after they go through menopause, one of a handful of species to do so. They are talking about us, not orcas dealing with emotional enmeshment. Do you think orcas have trad wives? Yeah, she likes to travel and go around, but honestly, their tradition is like them being vicious hunters. So I think like that is their version of the trad wife. When an orca mother dies, there's a high chance her adult son will die within a year or two. Why? What are they doing? It might be because a lot of animals don't stay with their sons for as long as their sons. These orca jokes are so good. The orca familia, as their daughters, the matriarchs will also give up half the food they catch to their family. Useless men everywhere. A 2015 study also found that older females guide their pod members to food, especially during tough times when food is scarce, suggesting that orcas no longer reproduce support the survival of chances by imparting wisdom. I got it, because most species, once you're done having kids, it's like sayonara, you're fucking done with everything. But it seems like the orcas, you can stick around as an old woman. The orcas are on the forefront of gender equality, much more so than humans are, because like, look at Hollywood. Do you see any elder woman representation? No. But the orcas are valuing women's... Orcas said women's stories matter. You know that clip of Reese Witherspoon? That is... the orcas, literally. Their sons and daughters stay with their mom for the mom's entire lives, like turtles that leave their eggs on the beach. There's definitely orca Twitch streamers. What do they have to say about President Nixon or Jackson Brittany? Exactly. I'm really giving it all to you. Orcas said ally, one of the few animals that don't reproduce till death. The queen orca Gma doing Gma shit. Their brains are very big. Their brains can weigh as much as 15 pounds and are well equipped for analyzing underwater environments. They use echolocation, where that's where they like make noises and then they hear how like it bounces off other materials and things. They can do that to locate prey. They can also distinguish fish by detecting the size and orientation of salmon swim bladders, which give off a unique acoustic signature. That is insane. They're so much smarter than us. They hunted whales with humans. I'm sorry, what? Oh my God. I'm like, this is insane. For 1,000 years, a population of orcas off the coast of Australia hunted alongside the indigenous people and later European whalers. I bet they preferred the indigenous people. This is what I think happened. I think the European whalers came in and they were like, we're going to be just like the indigenous people. And the whales were like, okay, I'm suspicious though. And because I bet the indigenous people had sustainable hunting practices where like they weren't killing too many. And then I bet the European whalers came in and the orcas were like, whoa man, you're really fucking shit up. You're like really fucking shit up. And then I bet the orcas quit. That's my theory. They would hit at the water to alert humans to the whale's presence and would sometimes tow them to their location using a rope. The orcas are towing the humans. I want to be really clear about that. Or they got hunted too. Another great point. In exchange, the humans gave the orcas the whale's lips and tongues. Oh my God. Imagine being on a boat being towed by an orca. She could take you anywhere. Anywhere. She could take you to Alaska. She could take you literally anywhere. Native Americans had a lot of symbiotic relationships with animals. Great stream topic. Use every part of the animal. Isn't this crazy? I always thought orcas were limited to polar regions. Why are they in Australia? We looked at the world map. They're literally everywhere. Like, they're everywhere unless it's frozen. Is pretty much where they are. These aren't even domesticated animals. Like, how did this start? They're towing the towing. This is insane. So the relationship became known as the law of the tongue, and it continued till the 1930s, where commercial whaling had caused whale stocks to plummet. The orcas left. I think they were killed. Were they silent or were they silenced? And the killer whale population is now believed to be dead. Oh my God, this is crazy, you guys. This is literally insane. What's this? Oh, these are just orca facts. Enter your email to read this article. How about you go fuck yourself? I don't even want to read it. I didn't want to read it anyway. Why scientists think orcas may be getting smarter. I don't know what you mean by maybe, because they are. They're really, really clever, blah, blah, blah. They're matriarchal. That's why they're so smart. We know. Their IQ is equivalent to that of a 15 or 16-year-old human. As someone who spends literally every day of my life with 16 and 17-year-old humans, they're very interesting and very smart. They see a lot of things that we don't necessarily see. How is the ocean not deeply afraid of them? They're literally like the bosses of the ocean. They pass their behaviors on to their offspring. They maximize their energy intake or nutrition or both. They have complicated social rituals, like we said. So what suggests that they are getting smarter? They have started targeting and ramming small sailing boats off the Spanish coast. We're going to talk more about this later, too. At least 20 Iberian orcas have adopted this behavior. This is a fad. We've seen this in them. This is currently confined to this small endangered Iberian population, but the young calves do appear to be copying the adult orcas. Oh my god, I hate when people try and be creative in the way to try and get me to say the N-word. Like, you really thought that was gonna work? I'm a high school teacher. You think I haven't been having children bait me into saying racial slurs via their name on Kahoot for literal years? You're done. And the auto mod is holding you out anyway. I'm the only one that can see you. But I hope that you enjoyed all of this little attention that you so desperately crave. Anyway, back to the orcas. Using the boat rudders as playthings is novel behavior, blah, blah, blah. This is kind of just more of the same shit. These people don't know orcas like we know orcas. So this is from Reddit. So Catacean intelligence is shown in their brain anatomy, especially the paralimbic lobe in the, I don't know what that is. It is believed to enhance empathy and communication. Human brains don't have that lobe. It's also shown in their social systems. The cultural capabilities found in orcas are without parallel except in humans, according to scientific literature. So here's just some other info about the whales, then we'll get into some other things. Actually, let's just go ahead and get into the other things. We've already been here for 40 minutes. So they're geniuses with families. I wanted to just show you some videos. Oh, this is a TED Talk. That's fun. I fucking love these TED Ed videos. I wanted to see what it was. Every time a killer whale looked me in the eye, I saw its intelligence shine through and felt his or her emotions.
Off the
orcas are basically mermaids. They really are.
Pods of killer whales inhabit the frigid waters. Each family is able to survive here thanks mainly to one member, its most knowledgeable hunter, the grandmother. These
we know this.
Can live 80 years or more, while most males die off in their 30s.
Did you just hear that? The males die off in their 30s, but the women live to their 80s. So I guess y'all are right that if the mom dies, the sons usually die. Crazy.
Though killer whales inhabit every major ocean, until recently we knew very little.
That's insane. Look at their habitat.
The details of their lives eluded scientists until an organization
Women in
called
STEM.
the Center for Whale Research began studying a single population near Washington State and British Columbia in 1976.
We really just got to know them.
We've learned a great deal about these whales, known as the southern residents.
Also, the males accumulate more toxins and can't offload them like females can.
Role comes into focus.
What?
Each grandmother starts her life as a calf, born into her mother's family group.
Is that better?
Or matriline. The family does everything together, hunting and playing, even communicating through their own unique set of calls.
We don't know what they're saying.
Both sons and daughters spend their entire lives with their mother's families. That doesn't mean a young whale only interacts with her relatives. Besides their own special calls, her matriline shares a dialect with nearby families.
This is
and
insane.
They socialize regularly.
They're
Once
having a
female
reunion.
reaches age 15 or so, these meetings become opportunities to mate with males from other groups.
They're dating.
The relationships don't go much beyond mating.
Period.
She and her
She
calves
said cut him
stay
loose.
with her family, while the male
She said, use him and lose him. Girl, use him and lose him.
returns to his own mother. Until approximately age 40, she gives birth every 6 years on average.
Okay.
Then she goes through menopause. which is almost unheard of in the animal kingdom.
Not
In
if you're an
fact,
orca.
humans, killer whales, and a few other whales are the only species whose females continue to live for years after they stop reproducing.
Period.
After menopause, grandmothers take the lead hunting for salmon, the southern residents' main
She's
food
in her
source.
girl boss era.
Most of the winter, they forage offshore, supplementing salmon with other fish.
Not the orca
But when
sperm
the salmon
donor.
head towards shore in droves to spawn, the killer whales follow. The matriarch shows the younger whales where to find the most fertile fishing grounds.
No periods
She
anymore.
also shares
Great
up to
joke.
90% of the salmon she catches.
90%.
With each passing year, her contributions become more vital. Overfishing and habitat destruction have decimated salmon populations, putting
Everything
the
is
whales
our
at
fault.
near constant risk of starvation.
Everything
These
is our
grandmothers'
fault.
expertise can mean the
Womp
difference
womp.
between life and death for
Orcas
their
are preg
families.
for
But why
17
do they
months?
stop having calves? It's almost always advantageous for a female to continue reproducing, even if she also cares for her existing children and grandchildren. A couple unique circumstances change this equation for killer whales. The fact that neither sons or daughters leave their families of origin is extremely rare.
That's dope.
In almost all animal species, one or both sexes disperse. This means that as a female killer whale ages, a greater percentage of her family consists of her children and grandchildren, while more distant relatives
15
die
to
off.
18 immediately no.
Because older females are more closely related to the group than younger females, they do best to invest in the family as a whole, whereas younger females should invest in reproducing.
Interesting.
In the killer whale's environment, every new calf is another mouth to feed on limited, shared resources.
Freeloaders.
An older female can further her genes without burdening her family by supporting her adult sons, whose sire calves other families will raise. This might...
Will we never be free by supporting her adult sons? When will orca men get a job? They should be working at some kind of underwater factory of sorts. I think I'm confused, though. I want to go back.
Further her genes without burdening her family by supporting her adult sons, whose sire calves other families will raise. This might be why the females have evolved to stop reproducing entirely in middle age. Even with the grandmother's contributions, the southern resident killer whales are critically endangered, largely due to a decline in salmon. We urgently need to invest in restoring salmon populations
Yeah,
to
we do
save
need to
them
work
from
on the
extinction.
salmon.
In the long term, we'll need more studies like the Center for Whale.
Yeah, we got to give money to the Center for Whale Research. We know. What other YouTube videos did I give you? Oh, rare video.
Video of the whales playing and
She'll tell you.
socializing with one another has gone viral online. It was taken in the waters off Monterey Bay, California.
Can I just say, I love when the news makes someone go somewhere. I love how they're going to play a video that someone took at a different time on their iPhone. And they were like, hey, I don't know what her name is. You work for CBS 8 San Diego. You got to go down there. You got to be there to talk about it. We're going to play the video from the iPhone, but I want you there on the beach talking about it.
California during a boat tour, leaving tourists and experts blown away.
This is not your everyday event. It was
Look
like
at
a
them.
big party.
Video shows dozens of orcas having what marine biologist Nancy Black describes as the time of their lives.
They are.
I mean, it's pretty incredible to have such an encounter like that. And they were, exuberant.
This lady looks like she knows what
the
she's
best
talking
word is
about.
that they were playful, they were happy.
The video captured earlier this month was taken by the Monterey Bay Whale Watch Tour Agency and shows a pod of 30 killer
They're so
whales,
pretty.
part of 11 different families.
They all
11?
had gotten together on this day, and they were really active. They were breaching and tail slapping and playing, and all the youngsters from each family were intermixing. So it was like, kids on a playground that hadn't seen each other in a while.
What's even more remarkable, Black
I don't
says,
want to
is
see
how
orcas
long
going
they
after prey. I want to
socialize
see
for.
family
I've
playtime.
been doing this for like over 30 years, and they were doing this for over 8 hours, and I've never seen something like
They were
this
having a
last for
party.
so long. So that
Do you
was
think
so
they were-
incredible about it.
Black,
You know
who's
what I'm
also
saying?
the director of a nonprofit called the California Killer Whale Project, says most people typically see 2 to 7 whales in one sighting. And while they tend to hunt in large numbers, she says this encounter was out of the ordinary.
As far as socializing,
Out of the
this is the largest
orcanary?
group I've seen do that, and that means that by chance, somehow all these families had to be within, close enough together in the ocean to form such a group.
The whales cover a large range stretching from Southern California all the way to British Columbia, leaving experts
I think they know they're on camera. Do you guys think they know they're on camera? Because look at how they're showing out right now. She was like, and watch this. And look at this. Like, they know they're on camera. They absolutely do.
As to how so many ended up together. They're also typically more active during April and May.
MTV
June,
Spring
we don't
Break.
see them as often in past years, and this June we've had more sightings than we'd expect, so it's a special occasion.
Black has an idea about why the whales were in such a good mood. She thinks they probably had a good hunting season, leaving them plenty of time to socialize and play.
Good for them.
Lucia de la Fe, CBS 8.
They worked hard. They deserve to have some free time. What is this? Resident Orcas. What is this? Orca Spirit Adventures. Why did I put this on here? Oh, it talks about their family life. I like watching the videos better. What is an orca pod? We kind of already learned that. I want to watch more orcas. I feel like I don't mean to be an asshole, and the person in charge of clip this. I don't mean to be an asshole, but me and you just read about orcas on Wikipedia and random websites for maybe 20 minutes. And I feel like we know more than the so-called scientist in this video. They're like, we don't know why the orcas are doing this. So it appears that different ones make different noises. No shit, honey! If you were a real orca fan, you would know that the separate pods have different dialects and accents. It seems like you just arrived here because we literally only did 20 minutes of research and you allegedly have a degree in marine biology. I'd like to see your credentials.
Together in this area.
This is pretty unusual in killer whale society.
Normally we
Tell
don't
them to
see
name 3 of their favorite snacks.
Between different pods. It's not something that's very common.
Yes, it is.
If it's not a big family gathering.
We don't see socializing between the pods. Clip this too. We don't see socializing between the pods. Yeah, we do. Literally, the Hat Lady said that, and the TED Ed video said that. That they hang out with different pods to mate. You think that they're just not socializing? They absolutely are.
What other clues are
They do not want to talk to y'all.
There's also tons and tons of birds flying above head, which is indicative of some sort of feeding frenzy, because wherever there's food, the birds are going to show up.
I think they found these guys on
Frenzy of
Craigslist.
birds above could mean a feast down below. Are the birds after fish that the orcas are catching?
I hate it. Seems like they just have so many questions and absolutely no answers. Moving on to orca communication, and then we'll get back into articles after this. The language of
The orca can be
orcas,
seen
how do
as
they
our
communicate?
oceanic counterpart. These highly emotional and sensitive animals have developed an intricate social intelligence with a complex communication.
I love
being
getting
part
like
of
deep
that.
in
Being
YouTube
able
like
to
this.
communicate is the
Who
core of
okayed
social
this? So much
awareness.
incorrect
So let's take a
info.
closer look at the language
I'm not
of
going to
the orca.
platform them. Discovery UK. Get me to Nature Journal with less than 1,000 subscribers. That's who has the real facts. I'm kind of hungry. I kind of want Wingstop. That would be problematic. I literally just ate dinner. Should we? Number 1, orca brain.
One thing that
Banger
most,
intro.
if not all, social and emotional beings have in common is a large and complex brain.
Yes.
In the animal kingdom, orcas have the second largest brain after sperm whales. But the size is not necessarily what makes the orcas so smart. Their brain rather has
I'm gonna
special
put this on
characteristics
1.25.
in which they excel and differ from us and other intelligent animals. Orcas have the most gyrified brain in the world. Gyrification describes the amount of wrinkling and folding in the brain's cortex, which ultimately increases the amount of total cortical nerve tissue and therefore increases the speed and the amount of data processing in the brain.
So he just said that orcas have the bumpiest and wrinkliest brains of any species. And the amount of wrinkles on your brain literally determines how fast and smart you are. The orcas are smarter than us. I don't know how much more evidence we need. I'm going to put this not on 1.25 speed and run back to that because I think you just really need to let that soak in. Of gyrification, whatever the fuck that is.
Orcas have the most gyrified brain in the world. Gyrification describes the amount of wrinkling and folding in the brain's
So look, that's human, and I'm guessing that's orca. They're smarter than us.
cortex, which ultimately increases the amount of
They have
total
fully
cortical
conscious
nerve
babies.
tissue and therefore increases the speed and the amount of data processing in the brain.
It increases the speed and the amount of data processing in the brain. In other words, how much you know and how fast you can access it.
That means that highly gyrified brains like
No, a
the orca's
15-year-old has such a squiggly brain, their IQ has to be so much higher.
brain are able to process more data faster. There are also two other brain parts that are highly developed in the orca's brain. A set of brain lobes called paralimbic system, which is related to spatial memory and navigation, and the amygdala, which is associated with emotional learning and long-term memories.
Like
Yet, the
emotional learning and long-term memories, when someone attacks them, they remember it. This is why it's so problematic that we put them at SeaWorld.
most fascinating part of the orca's brain that amazes scientists is the insular cortex. An orca's insular cortex is the most
I don't like
elaborated
this
in
graphic.
the world. The insula is involved in consciousness and playing diverse functions linked to emotions that include compassion, empathy, perception, motor control, self-awareness, and interpersonal experiences.
So the part of their brain that controls compassion, empathy, perception, self-awareness, and interpersonal experience is more developed than ours. Like, orcas are more connected to their family and their friends than humans are to each other. So, like, when we're seeing those horrifying videos that we're not going to watch of them kidnapping a baby orca, that I feel like the orcas are having, I don't want to say a more intense reaction than a mother watching her child get kidnapped, but like that's literally what it is, and that's kind of what the science is pointing to. I know that's going to be really insulting to like every mother out there. They're going to be like, I definitely love my child more than the orcas, but like, I don't know if you do. Just like purely brain waves speaking, I don't know if you're capable. Sorry.
Leading to long-time complex emotions and a very powerful empathy towards other members of their pod.
I wanted to hear them. They sound so cute.
Next to other things, the orca uses all that brain power to communicate in an intricate way. The orca's language is learned and inherited from generation to generation. Just like humans, baby orcas can hear their mother's voice while they are in the womb and therefore get in touch with the language before they are even born. After birth,
Insane.
they have a very limited set of vocalizations but rapidly learn the language from other members of the pod. The most
learn to
fascinating
talk.
thing is that the communication between orcas is so intricate that every orca pod basically has their own dialect of vocalizations. That means that orcas living off the coast of Norway have a different dialect than orcas living in Canada or Argentina.
I wonder if they can communicate though. Like, I wonder if it's like a New Yorker trying to talk to like a Southerner, or if it's like a New Yorker trying to talk to someone from like Taiwan who doesn't speak English, and the New Yorker doesn't speak anything but English because this is America and we don't teach people languages. Like, I wonder if they can communicate and it's just like kind of hard, or if it's like, I have no idea what you're saying. I wonder if they totally have teen slang. I wonder what their version of Riz is. Maybe there's a base language? Yeah.
Different pods, similar vocalizations can exist, but they are not two different pods.
I'm
with
from
the
New
same
York and I don't
repertoire of
understand
sounds.
anything.
It was believed that everything sounded the same, but scientists have carefully studied the characteristics of each of these sounds, like duration, volume, frequency, and moments in which they used them, and found distinct differences. As an example, the sounds of a pod in Norwegian waters were compared with those from a pod living in waters close to Iceland, which is not far away from each other. The resident orcas of Iceland had 24 different sounds, while those from Norway had only 23. However, what is more surprising is the fact that not a single sound was repeated in both groups, and all were unique to each pod.
And they're not far from each other at all. They can easily hang out. Interesting. This is crazy. Look at those teeth.
Orcas mainly make
OMG.
three different
They're
types
kinda
of
scary.
vocalizations: clicks, whistles, and pulsed calls. The clicks are part of the whale's sonar and are used for echolocation. They use it to find and locate food sources, for defining other objects in the ocean.
In
and
an
locating the whale in
audiology
its
class,
environment.
I learned that a large percentage of beached whales show signs of hearing loss. Hearing is important for their safety. This is so interesting to me.
Echolocation
I
is the
love
ability
science
of
from like this
organisms
level.
to locate and identify objects through projecting high-frequency sound waves and listening for echoes or reflected sound. This is especially helpful in dark and unclear waters. Orcas use their phonic lips, a structure located in the nasal passage, to produce directional clicks of a wide range of frequencies. In front of the nasal
See,
sacs
now it's like
is
getting
the
boring.
so-called melon. This type of
What's the
organ
melon?
acts as an acoustical lens to focus the sound waves.
Oh.
The waves are then projected forward into the water in front of the whale. The sound waves will bounce back from surrounding things and are received by the
Interesting.
lower jaw. The received sound image is then transferred to the middle ear
They're so
and
much
inner
smarter
ear,
than
where it is
us.
lastly sent to the brain through the auditory nerve to be processed and formed into an acoustic image. Another form of
And they do that
vocalization is
fast.
the pulsed call, which can be received by ear and presents the main component of the orca communication repertoire. They use these very discrete calls to communicate within the pod and keep track of each other in dark waters.
They're friends!
Although most orca calls in the wild consist of a very limited vocabulary of about 40 sounds or less used by each whale, scientists who have analyzed the nature of these calls say that they are very dense and rich. Also, there are tremendous variations in intensity, volume, and tone, as well as emotional content. Though it has not been demonstrated yet, there's certainly potential for communication of complex and specific information in these calls.
Oh, they're absolutely talking about complex and sophisticated information. I'm fully
Lastly,
confident in
orcas
that.
use whistles, which also are employed in the pod communication. Whistles are typically continuous tone emissions
Yeah,
that may last for many
because
seconds.
it's kind of on the fly content. I'm not using Nearpod, and Nearpod is the little quiz, but I could
However,
make a little
no matter
quiz
how
and just put the link
distinct
in
and
here. That's a good
intricate the
idea. I'll
communication
start doing
between
that.
orcas is,
Next week I will for when we
scientists
watch
still have not been
Alaska,
able
or when
to
we talk about
understand it
Alaska.
completely, although language is one of our greatest evolutionary advantages. Maybe the root of the problem is that we always try to use an anthropocentric way of observing. Carl Sagan, astronomer and cosmologist, once mentioned, and you might have heard the quote before, "It is not of interest to note that while some dolphins are reported to have learned English, up to 50 words used in correct context, no human being has ever been reported to have learned Dolphinese."
That's funny.
And to add to that, I would like to leave you with a quote from Laurie Marino from the Whale Sanctuary Project. She's a neuroscientist and expert in animal
Alaska is
behavior
gonna be
and
spooky.
intelligence. Recognizing intelligence and self-awareness in other animals is difficult because we are limited by what we can understand and experience.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they have a society that's beyond us. Like, we're observing them from our perspective of, like, what communication means. But, like, they have parts of their brain for empathy and communication that we don't have. So, like, it's impossible for us to put our standards on them because I feel like they're probably looking at us and they're like, they are so stupid. This is how do orcas communicate through pulsed calls and whistles. Like we said, that language is inherited and learned, so they have to teach the same way that humans do. We talked about how their vocalization is different to each pod. Orca behavior. What is this? This got stuck here somehow. They're mainly active during the daytime and they move around pretty much constantly. They stay in the same area. So, like, they're moving around, but within their geographic spot. Like, I don't think they're Mr. International, like we previously mentioned. Home range size is unknown, but they have been documented to swim up to 160 kilometers a day. They're frequently observed breaching, which is leaping out of the water, slapping their flippers on the water. Apparently, when their fin does, like, the little whomp thing, that's, like, a sign of being in captivity. It's not as common out in the wild. What's this? We really just watched YouTube now. What is this? Incredible look at how orcas communicate. Oh, there's a fly in here.
British Columbia
Or is
on
that a
the west coast
mosquito?
of Canada. This footage
What are
caught on
you?
camera phone shows a family of killer
I don't like
whales,
that.
or orcas. They are one of the ocean's smartest mammals, and this group is behaving in a truly bizarre way.
Weeks. So, like I said, a week from today, like on the 28th, we're going to be doing Alaska. This mosquito is literally freaking me out so bad. Get out of here. We're doing Alaska, and then I think we're either gonna, well, then we'll go back to Nearpod and like the way things used to be, because I'll be done with school by then. I think we will either do the reconstruction stuff, or I really want to do Sarah Palin. So we might do Sarah Palin first and then reconstruction. I haven't decided yet. But next week will be Alaska, and then after that we'll be back to normal. More orcas. So let's talk about the orcas tipping the boats. We have lots of YouTube here, and then, oh my god, we have a lot more to do. Look at us. So let's get into the orcas tipping the boats. Maybe we won't watch all of this. So this one is dramatic video of orca attacking boats in Spain, like we previously mentioned.
There have been an increase in these encounters, and some wonder why. CBS 8's Abby Black shares some expert insight into what may be going on. Abby?
They don't like us.
Off of San Diego's coast usually start in June, but we're told they're still pretty far south. But they are making headlines in Europe where they're attacking.
See what I mean?
boats,
Like,
and someone...
this is happening in Spain, but they made her go stand outside in this bay in San Diego, California.
Are they being playful, or are they seeking revenge?
What did you expect after what we've done to them?
Dramatic video of an orca slamming into a 66-foot sailboat off of Spain's southern coast. The
Get
force of the
into
wreck
it.
damaged the hull. Crews had to pump water off the boat.
The same news channel, too.
You hear him try to scare off the pod, but you still see a killer whale lurking by the boat.
Oh, you think you can scare it by tapping a little
This is
metal
part
thing on the
recent
side of the
orca
boat?
attacks on small boats and yachts in the Strait of Gibraltar.
It's an orca. She doesn't
At
care.
least 3 boats have sank in recent weeks. Researchers say since 2020, orca encounters in the area have increased.
They're probably
There have been more
thinking
than
it's funny.
20 interactions recorded just this month. Last year, there was a total of 200.
She's not lurking. She lives there.
Another video of a killer whale ripping off 2 rudders and then seen swimming with it in their mouth.
We didn't even see them coming. Whole thing lasted maybe 10-15 minutes.
Researchers wonder whether this could be revenge or playful behavior.
I think it's revenge.
Personal opinion is people do revenge. Animals don't do revenge.
We spoke to
Animals have phenomenal, specifically orcas, have phenomenal long-term memory. This is my theory. I think it's revenge, but they're not going to kill us. Because if they wanted to kill us, like us being the people on the boats, they could. I think they know that it's terrifying to us. Like, I think to them it's funny because they know we're genuinely scared. Like, I think it's playful on their part, but they know we're not playing. You know what I mean? Because playful implies we're both playing. I think the orcas know that we are scared. And they're like, yeah, stop fucking kidnapping our kids. Like, we see you, bitch, is I think what the orcas are doing. Why are the sea animals who live in the ocean we're polluting and shoving our big metal boats onto attacking us? The orcas are like, why are you lurking on the surface? They still have never attacked a human in the wild. Exactly. They know that. You know?
Robert
They
Pittman,
know.
a marine mammal researcher at Oregon State University, who used to study killer whales in San Diego.
So I think they're just playing around. I think they tried it once, and
I only want to
turned it
hear
into a
women's
game,
opinions.
And, as it is with killer whales, things tend to spread among the group.
Killer whales are matriarchal,
They're
and some
trends.
believe the adult female in the pod may have had a traumatic experience with a boat and is seeking revenge, but Pittman
Nice.
says it's just playfulness.
I don't know.
The
I don't agree
matriarch
with
is definitely
Pittman,
in
personally.
charge of the group, and if she's in favor of it or will let it happen, then it will. If she says no, then it'll stop.
He hopes that these attacks won't lead to people killing the whales.
Yeah, if anyone kills a whale, I will personally drown you. What's this one?
A small group of orcas is causing a lot of damage
Oh,
to
it's kind of the
boats
same
off the
thing.
Iberian
This is like a
Peninsula,
different guy
raising
talking about
questions
it, though.
why the orcas are doing it. Stephanie
'Cause
Sy
they hate
looked
us,
into
and
it
we
and has
deserve
this
it.
report.
In the middle of the night last October, Artur Napoleão was sailing miles off the coast of Portugal to deliver a boat to a client.
I want a
As a
boat.
professional skipper
I bet the
and
orcas
sail
would like my
instructor,
boat.
it's a journey he's taken many times before.
At 4 o'clock a.m., it was my turn to go sleep. So I went down, I started taking my nap, and 30 minutes later, boom.
He ran up to the deck to find the boat surrounded by a pod of orcas.
Oh, this one's a
They messed around for 5 minutes, and then they went to another boat more far away from me, like 1-2 miles.
But the pod returned, not once, but 3 times, the visit spanning over several hours, well after sunrise.
I got really scared.
She said,
Until
hey,
I realized, until I see the
you're in my
orcas and
house.
see their movements. and how gentle they were when I stopped the boat.
Yeah, I would just
in the past 3
hang
years,
out there and see what they
hundreds
do.
of boat and orca interactions have been reported off the coasts of Portugal, Spain, and Morocco.
They're so
According
beautiful.
to the Spanish research group GTOA, in 2022, there were 207 reported interactions in the Strait
And
of
there's not
Gibraltar
that many
alone. The strait
whales.
is a narrow waterway that separates Spain and Morocco.
She said you're
And the
blocking our
meetings
light.
are not
They're trying to
always
take
gentle.
selfies.
Just last month, killer whales surrounding a boat sailing through the Strait of Gibraltar were met with loud noises, an attempt by the crew to scare them off.
They don't like the noise.
The pod rammed the boat continuously for over an hour, managing to
one we looked
remove
at.
the rudder. With seawater
Because-
gushing into the boat,
Do you see how when the guy was like, I just turned the boat off, the orcas just kind of like played around with him and then left? But when they started banging like metal, the orcas were like, no, fuck you, bitch. Like, I think the orcas are doing it as a test to see who's fucking with them and who's not. You know what I'm saying? And I think we would pass.
the experienced crew of 4 issued a mayday call.
I can't imagine how
towed to
loud the
shore
boats make their home
unharmed.
24/7.
In another recent instance off the coast of Spain, 3 orcas repeatedly struck a yacht, causing it to sink entirely after Spanish Coast Guards
Oh, they look so
rescued the
scared.
crew on board.
We have we are having one incident every day, in average. Okay,
One
there are
incident
days
every
that we
day.
have 2 or 3.
To better track these events, Rui
This is
Alves
insane.
started this website last year to log orca encounters. It connects a network of sailors who share geographic locations of sightings and attacks along the Spanish and Portuguese
I
coasts.
think attack is a
This map
bold
shows
word.
incidents reported just this month.
So for me, it was the idea if you spread the word about something that happens in an area, people will avoid that area. Maybe they will keep the boat and say, I don't sail today because there
It's
are
a bullied
orcas
by
at that
orcas
point.
site.
I will sail
They're
tomorrow.
like incels of the
Or maybe I
ocean.
will go in other direction.
Orcas living near the Iberian Peninsula are a distinct subpopulation and a critically endangered one.
Added
But why these
justified in
orcas
front of
are
attacks.
repeatedly damaging boats is something experts are trying to understand. One theory making the rounds: revenge. Some
Yeah.
scientists believe an orca named White Gladys suffered a traumatic injury from a boat and may be teaching other orcas how to attack similar vessels.
I stand with White Gladys, okay? White Gladys said, these motherfuckers injured me, and we are all gonna get revenge. And the orcas fell in line. I love, love, love that. Do you see what I'm saying when I say the orcas are more advanced than we are? The way that when a woman is traumatized, the orcas rally around her, but when a human woman is traumatized, we just demonize her. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Can I sign up to be an orca? Because the orcas believe women. Humans don't believe women, but the orcas do.
But Monica Whelan Shields, director of the Orca Behavior Institute, says that kind of activity would be uncharacteristic of the animals she
Shut up,
studies.
Monica.
Play is a more likely explanation,
I don't think it is.
she says.
It's just not something that we've seen for whatever reason. They're the top predator in the ocean. They're capable of attacking and killing, all kinds of species that are around them, but they have never targeted that that talent or that, predator-like behavior towards humans.
Despite the killer whale nickname, orcas are the largest species in the dolphin family. And no humans have yet to report major injuries from the boat confrontations.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not here to injure humans. What is this? Watch the astonishing moment orcas chase a fisherman's boat.
Incredible moment was captured
This isn't
on
them
video shot
tipping
from
it.
2 fishermen off the coast of San Diego. They saw animals in the distance, but until they got up close, the guys didn't
They're sick of our
realize it was
shit finally.
actually killer whales
They're peacefully
chasing their
protesting.
boat. Seen
No,
in
I
this-
literally think they're doing civil disobedience. Like, they're like, we're going to damage property, but we're not going to kill anybody. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they were doing kind of like a suss out moment. Like, they approach you, and if you're cool about it, they'll just kind of like be on their way and maybe hang out with you a couple more times. Like the guy that turned his boat off. But the people that were banging the metal, they were like, oh, okay, it's on. It is on. It is on.
Video by Viral Hog.
Right under us, still. Right there.
They
That's
write that
crazy.
there was a pod of 30 orcas swimming and following their boat, and they were jumping in the
30?
boat's wake. Some even getting a little too close for comfort.
Oh, oh my God. He was like right there.
There was even
Good morning.
stunning video of the whales under the water, swimming alongside their boat.
This is insane. This would be crazy to see in real life.
This will surely be a day these guys will never forget.
The Inside Edition voice kills me.
Be sure to watch Inside Edition.
They're so like graceful. Wow. What's this? Good Morning America? Huge fan of your work.
Now to the killer whales that appear to
Oh.
be targeting boats in Europe.
3 boats sunk after coordinated orca attack.
Attacking
Love.
them and
Love,
even
love,
managing
love.
to sink 3. Our foreign correspondent
They're
James
swimming
Baldwin
so fast
has the
and they're
story
so
what
graceful. They
scientists
really
think could
are.
Be behind it. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Michael.
I'd be
We call
shitting
them
my
killer whales, even though for the most part they're pretty harmless. But there have now been a series of orca attacks on boats in European
And you said, I
waters.
mean, he's
And
in
they
New
seem to be
Haven,
learning this
England.
aggressive
Why is he
behaviour
outside?
From one whale in particular, and her name is Gladys.
Gladys!
This morning, the destructive behaviour of one of the ocean's largest
I'm Team
apex
Gladys.
predators, orca whales. Popularly known as killer whales, have scientists and sailors on high alert.
It's loud.
They may just be playing with us, but for sure they're going to damage the boat.
No one cares
That
about your
sound-
boat.
A pod of whales ramming into a yacht. Starting in 2020, a series of increasingly aggressive encounters off the Iberian coast has left scores
You need
of boats
Gladys
damaged.
merch.
3 of them sunk to the ocean floor. You're looking at the last moments this Swiss luxury sailboat saw the surface.
Not the
Just this
Swiss
month,
luxury
the vessel
sailboat.
was battered by a pod of killer whales in the Strait of Gibraltar, with the ship taking on heavy
Gladys is
water,
about
the
to
crew
make her
pulled
entire
back,
lineage
and
remember
abandoned
that
ship.
boats are evil.
Marine
That's her
scientists in
culture
Spain
now.
studying the phenomenon and now suggesting it could be a response to trauma, a kind of killer whale revenge,
Yep.
for pain suffered from a collision with a boat or getting wounded by commercial fishing lines.
Every day we are thinking more and more in one of our hypotheses, that is that one orca suffered a traumatic event, and a female orca, and she only wanted to stop these boats, and right now this behavior is spreading.
Researchers have named that female orca Gladys Blanca and believe
Gladys
fellow
Blanca.
whales have adopted her aggressive behaviour.
Nice.
The critically endangered regional subpopulation numbers fewer than
Even the whales have intergenerational trauma. The body keeps score. And Gladys said, let me make this everybody's problem. There's less than 40 whales in this subpopulation, and Gladys is their leader, I think.
40 whales, but they pose a significant danger to ocean
Do you
goers
think
like
they
the
have a
blackbird,
noise for let's go
navigating
mess
choppy
with those
waters
rich
just this
idiots
month.
on the boat?
He was
Yeah, I
forced
think
to
we're
hold
hearing
out for
it.
over an hour as the whales targeted his boat.
The noises that were making, the boat twisting, the power that these creatures possess it's incredible.
Take
I
a
don't
look
think
at
you
this
passed the
older
vibe
orca
check.
and calf, who take turns slamming the hull and charging the rudder. The boat limping back to port with the heavy-duty hull chains completely snapped.
So you could definitely see
Nice job,
an element of
Gladys.
education going on. It's definitely teaching.
The element of education.
Which is quite unnerving as a sailor to see the next generation now is learning. It's obviously going to be a continued habit.
Not
of
the next
within this
generation. He looks so scared.
Sailors are now monitoring whale activity before they set sail in order to avoid these encounters, but that, of course, is not foolproof. Maybe
Yeah,
this
the
is
whales
just
are
a lesson
fast.
about humans and our impact on nature. Guys,
Could be, but they are smart.
Yeah,
very smart. Yeah. And can we just say it's a beautiful? Can we put his shot back up? Wherever you are, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, one of the few sunny days someone
you
said.
can see the sun shining here for once. I'm so proud of Britain.
You picked the right day to be there. Hey, James.
All right,
thank
good
you.
morning, America. You're done. I'm done with the small talk. We're gonna already talk about this. Here's some articles about what we said. This is a Reddit thread about orcas attacking boats in the Mediterranean. A pod of 30 orcas trying to sink a British boat. British crew attacked by pod of 30 killer whales.
So what was happening? Well, we were about 50 miles or so from Gibraltar, just leaving
Where's
the Atlantic
Gibraltar?
Ocean and heading towards the Mediterranean and the Straits of Gibraltar.
Oh, it's that spot
Maybe
we looked
about
at.
25 miles or so off
Looks
the
like
coast
an
of Spain.
orchestrated attack.
You can see the wheel here being ripped from my hand violently on its full lock from left to right, or port to starboard, however you want to call it, but at no point was I able to control it.
Yikes.
So what's happening here is we're still motoring. We've got the sails up, and obviously the engine electrics and everything around. Shortly we'll turn the engine off, turn off the electrics, and hope that that will be enough to stop their inquisitive nature. Now these attacks, so attack's a terrible word to use, and the word killer whale is something that I'm not particularly fond of as well, because it's such a...
This guy is
dramatic
kind of
and
standing
negative
with
thing.
the orcas, though. I'm speeding this
But
up.
this wasn't friendly. It was not like watching dolphins that come up to the side of the boat and swim along. This was something a little bit more orchestrated. What seemed to be happening was there was...
He laughed at the
I'm guessing
orchestrated
maybe up
joke,
to
too.
about- I thought at some point about maybe 20.
Okay, I'm kind of over this. Okay, so they should not be in tanks. Like we said, if you want to be sad, you can watch the Blackfish documentary. That's always available to you. But we are not going to watch whale torture, so I did just want to talk about a couple of these things and not really, like, watch it super in depth. So if they are kept in captivity, they will adopt aggressive behavior towards each other as well as self-destructive behavior. They actually self-harm, which is like very emo of them. Like I said, they do have emotions. So they will like rake themselves against like equipment and like locks on their cages and stuff to try and injure themselves. And it's well documented that captive marine mammals engage in harmful stereotypic behavior such as gnawing on tank walls or gates. At least 160 have died in captivity. Even more if stillbirths are counted. And among the survivors, health issues are abound, like the dorsal fin collapse, like I was mentioning, and tooth damage is very common as well. Severe dental issues present themselves in almost all captive orcas because they often chew on the bars or walls out of frustration. So their teeth are often drilled and left unfilled and require daily flushing and antibiotics. So when those orcas become ill, they are resistant to antibiotics, and then it's hard for them to actually treat them. So they're literally just like giving prison. They get breeded for profit. Like I said, I was going to keep it kind of surface level here because it's just so depressing. They literally have plans on what to do if a boat appears, like a football team. No, they have plays. Many captive orcas were born and bred in captivity, but that's not always the case. Some of them have been caught for entertainment display starting in the 1960s. One of the most infamous was the mass capture in Penn Cove, Washington. There's videos of it, I think. I don't want to watch them. It's really sad. You can hear them screaming. On August 8th, 1970, a total of 7 whales were taken from the L pod and 5 died in the process. Among the captures was Lolita, the last remaining survivor. And then there's like a lot of lore about her and stuff that she's been through. The Icelandic coast has also been the site of orca captures in the 70s and 80s with Tillicum, who I think was the one that killed a couple of trainers, and Kiko of Free Willy. Oh, Free Willy is an orca, I guess. And some of the most notable captives. Even today, orcas are still being wild caught in Russian waters for sale to marine parks in Russia and China as their captive markets have continued to grow in popularity. But capturing them from the wild is illegal in most places. So I know the PETA people are kind of insane. I'm sorry, but they had some good information here. So what is life like for orcas in captivity? They often exhibit repetitive behavior that's not seen in nature, like swimming in circles or lying motionless for several hours. They gnaw on the metal bars, which creates injuries like we talked about. This is about the fucking like PETA art installation. I don't care about the PETA art installation. I care about the orcas. What's National Geographic saying? They probably won't let us read it. Yeah. They won't let us read it. It always lets me on my laptop, and then when I get to hear, it's like, you're out of reasons. So 8 reasons that they do not belong at SeaWorld. 1 is premature death. Orcas in the wild have a life expectancy of 30 to 50 years, max 60 to 70 for males, or 80 to 90 for females. And the average death for orcas at SeaWorld is only 14 years old. So, like, if you think about that, that completely makes sense, especially from like an exercise perspective. Like, I'm sure they need to be getting a lot of exercise every day to be healthy. Like, they're huge and they need to like work their muscles. I don't know what their anatomy's like, but it seems like they're supposed to be swimming kind of a lot. So if you don't have the space to do that, I can get where that would lead to health issues. Like their blood is probably not circulating. Like I'm not a veterinarian, but I just feel like The same way a sedentary lifestyle is bad for humans, it's probably bad for orcas as well. They literally live as long as we do and die as teenagers in captivity. I know, it's absolutely insane. Lean, mean killing machines or not, there has been only a single reliable report of an orca harming a human being, but in captivity they have killed 4 humans since just 1999 and injured many more. The collapsed dorsal fins, that's what that looks like when their fin goes like schwamp. And it's because they don't have space to swim freely, and they're fed an unnatural diet of dead, thawed fish. They like to eat the fish while it's alive. SeaWorld claims that it's common. I saw in that Blackfish movie, they're like, oh yeah, 1 in 4 orcas have a collapsed dorsal fin, but apparently in nature it's like 5%. Like, it's like some, but it's not 1 in 4. They're supposed to swim up to 140 miles a day. So to them, the tank is the size of a bathtub. So imagine you just literally being stuck in your bathtub the whole day. They also get into lots of fights in captivity. I'm going to scroll up because I don't want to see the orca injury on his little chin there. This is because of anxiety and tension. If you put them in too tight of living conditions, they're going to fight with each other. Ew, they eat pig and cow bones. Gross. In captivity, they're unable to hunt and obtain water from their prey, so SeaWorld gives them gelatin, a substance that's not natural for them, in an attempt to keep them hydrated. Tilikum consumed 83 pounds of gelatin every day. Gross. Gross, 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 gross. Breaking their teeth to get out. We kind of already talked about this. Oh, they do the dental drilling without anesthesia. I'm going to cry. They don't have their families around them. In their populations, like we said, they stay with their mother for life, but in captivity, they're usually alone. Very, very sad. What is this?
More than 50 years after she was taken from the waters.
Oh, I wanted to end this on a
The
positive.
oldest killer whale in captivity could be heading home. The Miami Seaquarium announced plans yesterday to return the
Miami
orca named
Seaquarium
Lolita
sucks.
to the wild. She's thought to be about 57 years old.
Oh,
Animal
Lolita, the
rights
one that
groups
got
have
taken.
fought for
Let me
years
see if they
to
took
let
her.
Lolita spend her final days in the Pacific Northwest. If you're asking, is Lolita ready for this? Could she survive? The plan is to build
Lolita
an
release
ocean
date.
sanctuary where the orca will be supervised by trainers until she learns how to dive and catch fish again on her own. And growing up in Miami, we used to see Lolita every
Oh
year. at the
no,
Miami
I'm
Aquarium.
so sad.
This is
She
incredible.
passed
It's been a big fight for a
away.
long
That is terrible. I just looked up an article. They were going to release her, but she passed away. Died before her chance to return to the ocean. I wanted to end on a positive. Damn it, I thought that video was saying she did get released. Less than 5 months after they planned to release her back into the ocean at 57. That's so sad. The Miami Seaquarium killed her. Those losers. Ugh. Okay, let's talk about their hunting. I don't want to leave off with them like being sad and in tanks and all that. So let's look at them in their moment. Hunting, going crazy.
A killer whale off the coast of South Africa has been caught on camera.
Oh, we already watched that. Okay, National Geographic. Oh, this is them hunting penguins. Sorry. R.I.P. to the penguins. Why did it take 5 months after the announcement? I think in the earlier video they were saying they had to make sure she knew how to hunt because she hadn't been outside in so long, but I feel like she probably could have figured it out.
Including the Crozet Islands, 2,000 miles southeast of Cape Town. Here, around 60,000 pairs of these birds mingle and meet their mate on land, where they're mostly safe. But when they get hungry, they need to get back in the ocean to fish. To a population of killer whales.
They're killing.
That have developed a palate for penguin.
Alrighty, I'm gonna turn off TikTok because we're almost done here. Goodbye. Love you all
Penguins
so
are
much.
fast and agile swimmers that are not easy to catch in the open sea. But at nearly 30 pounds, they're a decent meal for a killer whale.
They seem kind of small.
The wily predators patrol the shallow waters, looking for opportunities. Spy hopping.
I feel like they're like too close to the edge. Like, why are they in the water? They should walk away, I think. Do they not know that they're there?
Is on. In deeper water, the penguins can twist and turn, making them
I'll have to
difficult
rewatch
catch.
Amy's Baking Company to recover
So
from
the
this
orcas
stream.
wait until
Real.
they head back to the beach, where the shallow water cramps the bird's style. But it's riskier for the whales.
This looks like CGI, is it not? How'd they get this
Waves
footage?
slow the penguins down just as the killer whale powers in for the kill.
I'm gonna find a different hunting video. I don't like the angles on here. It's making me seasick. Okay, there we go. Incredible. Watch it. I know we're literally watching hunting videos, but I don't want to watch it. Let me find like a good video to like finish off this lovely stream with of orcas playing or something. Orcas playing with seals. I don't think they play. That's on his tank. I don't want that. Okay, top 10 killer whale orca encounters caught on camera. That'll be the last thing we watch tonight. This is good. I love a compilation. Oh, it's 13 minutes. Maybe we'll watch the whole thing. Not whale soup. What was someone saying about kayaks? Do they not like kayaks?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I would be losing my mind.
That was unbelievable.
Not whale soup. They're spitting on him before they eat him. That's disrespect. No, he's literally on a plate. Do they look like seals? I don't know. I feel like they're too brightly colored. Can my computer stop trying to update? I'm in the middle of something. They're chilling with them, but they come up and look at the humans. They're like right there. I would not be moving. I'd be like, my lady, I respect your matriarch. Tell me where to go. I will leave. Yeah, I would be. This one's in Mexico. That one was in Washington State. Oh, I think we watched this one already. They're like, damn it, you're not a seal. Gladys looking at this kayak like, not a boat. No engine. She's clear. No, I feel like they probably would not mind the kayaks as much because they like don't bump into them and they don't have engines, so they're not loud. So I feel like they would be chill with the kayaks. Gladys probably approves of kayaks. She's like, that's fine, you can have that. Orcas going after seals and sharks ain't cute. They're cute when they play, though. They're multifaceted. Exactly. Exactly. And I think orcas really are, like, they're such girly girls because, like, as a girl, you can be, like, so cute and so gorgeous and so innocent and having so much fun. And then, like, I'll turn around and literally rip your head off and be so motherfucking insane and aggressive. It, like, actually should be studied. And I appreciate orcas for giving me that representation as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Orcas would have saved Nemo from the boat. I mean, the butt. Okay, we saw this one. I'm moving on. That's a long one. Okay, I think it's almost done. Yeah. This is in Newfoundland. Oh my god, they're clicking. That orca's just playing in the waves. They're complex women. The duality of women, exactly. They're all girls to me. I know some of them are boys, but not in my universe. They don't eat plants, right? I don't think they like that. I'm sure they do, like, on accident. It's funny to me that they can get dehydrated when they live underwater. But I guess that makes sense, because in captivity they're only eating dead fish, so it wouldn't have as much, like, stuff in it, I guess. So feeding them gelatin? Look. No wonder the orcas are trying to kill us. They eat moose? They eat moose? How? If the moose gets lost? How are they eating moose? This is in Norway. Interesting. There's only one record of them eating moose. It was in Alaska. They attacked a pair of moose that were swimming in the water. One moose was killed and the other escaped. Other than that, they have not...
Oh my god.
Moose are excellent swimmers. They can go 6 feet underwater? We're learning so much today. What a great way to segue to next week's topic. So true. Whales to Alaska.
Hold on to the boat, sweetie. He's going right under us. Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on to the boat, babe.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hold on to the boat is crazy. They're playing. They're literally such showmen. Like, they're like here for that. Oh my god, the kid. They're gonna remember that forever. Core memory for real. Alaska, then to Sarah. We might have to do Sarah Palin after Alaska, and then we'll get into Reconstruction. Why are so many of these location unknown? The ocean is terrifying to me. That's literally so scary. I'm terrified of the ocean. Look at all the fish. I was about to say, what is that large dark object? Not him saying their tiny human hands will be stronger than a several-ton animal. They're just showing off their tricks. They really are. He said, a little snack for me. Don't mind if I do. They're so pretty. I'm glad we're finishing on this. It's so peaceful. I want to swim with them, but I'm afraid of the ocean and them. One of my coolest encounters was watching a toddler practice breaching. What's breaching? She breached 17 times in a row. It looked so much fun. They did the mlim at the same time. 80 feet in the air. Oh my god. Punts it? You've successfully changed my mind. I was on the slander train before, but now I'm on the orca lover train, right? They're so complicated. I'm obsessed with them.
Yes, 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 yes. That seal went 80 feet up in the air.
Wait, I didn't see it. Are they gonna show it again? No, we need to see that again.
Right there.
I feel like I'm not seeing it. Am I an idiot? Yeah, I don't know. I'm dumb. I can't see it. There's too many birds around. Oh no, I see it. There it is. Oh, I saw it. Oh, he shoved him far. We're soaring. The deep ocean scares the crap out of me. I can't. I can't with the deep ocean. Orcas following boat, another location unknown. Oh, this is an interesting angle. I feel like the orca's about to be like, hi! Is that the orca? No, that's like a little dinghy they're dragging behind it. Oh, they dropped the camera far. It's kind of scaring me. The ocean is scary to me. I'm getting nervous. I'm definitely gonna have nightmares tonight. Hey, girl! They're so pretty. Breaching is when they jump out of the water and make a splash. Oh, that does look fun. I wish I could do that. I guess I could. What other things have you seen in your orca observation? Gladys makes her moves globally in her hate campaign. Gladys is the orca influencer. Gladys is like their Gypsy Rose. Like, iconic woman who lived through a traumatic thing and like people are obsessed with. You know? This one looks like AI to me. I feel like I'm like so paranoid about something being AI. I'm like, are you AI? You never know. How much more do we have left of this? Only a couple minutes. They're so pretty. They really are. They're so like gorgeous looking. Like they're so regal. You know what I mean? Like they're gorgeous in the way that like Cynthia Bailey is. Like you look at her and you're like, oh my god, like you're like carved like by gods. Like this looks fake to me. I feel like this one is fake. I don't like this one. We're gonna move on. Orca versus paddleboard. Oh, I would be throwing up. I would be throwing up. Maybe they hate boat noises because they can't communicate over it and they get scared someone will get hurt. That's what it's kind of giving to me. Like, they're kind of giving, like, fuck off. We're in the middle of something right now. Don't hit him. Just be chill. I feel like the orca realized he was scared. The orca was like, oh, I didn't mean to like pull up on you like that. Unlike dolphins who have suspicious eyes, he thinks you're standing on a whale. Exactly. I feel like the orca was like, shit, my bad, dog. That was orca of like when you think it's your friend. So you're like, hey, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were some, like that was the orca version of that. He thought you were someone else. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that, I think. We don't need to touch it. Don't touch it. I think it likes holding that stick and we should let it keep it. Orca's about to pull a deal on that paddleboard. Stop touching it. You're making me nervous. Stop! Oh my god, this guy's making me really nervous. Please stop. It's gonna eat your hand. Me sobbing. Hi, Mr. Orca. Can you please leave me alone? I would feel honored, horrified, honored, and safe all at the same time. The hand of a guy who hasn't seen the orca's teeth. This guy is scaring me. Stop taking the stick from it. Stop it. You're making me nervous. Look how healthy her teeth look because she's in the wild. Do you guys, like, know each other? Like, I feel like you're getting really personal with this orca right now. Stop taking the stick. They do like to play. But, like, when does playing change? You know what I mean? Their core body strength is frightening. A several-ton animal will always win. She is being super gentle. She's like a little water dog. Okay, that was good and peaceful. Alrighty, well, thank you all for being here. If you have not read the GoFundMe that is QR coded like yonder, go ahead and read that. Please share with everyone you know, and please join us next week for learning about Alaska. We're going to learn about the tippity tip of the United States where it is dark for 2 months of the year. Thank you all so much for being here every week. We will get back to our regularly scheduled programming soon. My views have been like very much down lately, so I am really loving and living for those of you that are here. I love you all so much. You mean the world to me. Please share my stream with your friends, with your family, with your haters, with your enemies. This mosquito is still flying around my room. That's amazing. But have a great night, everyone. Please donate and share the GoFundMe, and I will see you next week for